Hello, this is Larry Reidy. It's just a short little video here. First of all, I want to thank all the volunteers that have helped me out becoming my guest podcasters for my President segment of Larry Reidy's America, available on larryreidy.net and all popular podcast sites. Anyway, I hope everyone will take the time, it's between 20 and 30 minutes a week, to trace our history back from George Washington on through the 46th President of the United States and the partial work of the 47th President. So we got basically 47 weeks of podcasting, 20 to 30 minutes, history of the country through the good times, through the bad times, through the good presidents, through the bad presidents. And there's a lot of research involved in this, and there's people that are taking times out of their busy day to come out and be a guest podcaster. I can't thank them enough. And just in case you haven't seen any of these and you want to start at the beginning, go to larryreidy.net, hit on listen, and you can go P1, which is George Washington, P2, which obviously is John Adams, and 3.2 is P3 is Thomas Jefferson. And here's who's doing these podcasts so far. In fact, I think I need 22 more volunteers that I don't have commitments or that haven't already recorded. But we started out, I did a very brief podcast on George Washington. My second podcast, John Adams was supposed to be Steve Harmeyer. Steve had last minute 812 business coming up, and John Kellerman so graciously accepted late in the day, and we did a podcast at 7 o'clock. So then we go on right now with our latest podcast is obviously Thomas Jefferson, and Paul Ketchum took time out of his busy day. For those who don't know Paul, he's the superintendent of the Batesville Community School Corporation. John Kellerman comes back on James Madison. Then we have Amy Streeter doing James Monroe. Tim Volz did John Quincy Adams. J.D. Stevens will be doing Andrew Jackson. Terrence Arney, Martin Van Buren. Let's see who else we got. William Henry Harrison I'm doing because I don't want to have a guest podcaster do someone that was only a month in office. So I'll be doing that one. Tricia Fossbender is doing John Tyler. Allison Hounds will be doing James K. Polk. Mike Spreckelson is Zachary Taylor. Ben Maynard, for local people who may not be familiar, Ben is a fellow podcaster in California. We've become good friends. He's had me on his podcast. He's been on mine. Great guy. He will be doing Millard Fillmore. Cecil Eisen is going to be doing Franklin Pierce. And in a little bit distant future, I've got Clay Kellerman. He's already recorded Abraham Lincoln. And my friend Ted Snedeker is going to be doing Teddy Roosevelt. But again, I've got some commitments, but some not firm commitments. And I would be comfortable with 22 more. And so anybody wants to be a podcaster for a president, just call me, 812-871-4224. In the meantime, because of the scheduling, and I'm trying to get everything recorded by the end of October, I don't really have time to go out and beat the bushes to have an interview for a Sunday podcast. So I'll be substituting with different things. And if I have time, I'm going to bring this up this Sunday. Other than the Joe Rogans, Megyn Kellys, and such, the most popular podcasts in the country are about crime. Well, I've always had an interest in criminals because they're the scum of the earth. I have no use for a criminal. So I have got a new podcast, and it's going to continue into the fall. Doing it myself. The first one is up this Sunday, and the segment is Dumbass Criminals. And one of the dumbest ass criminals was Billy the Kid, and I did about a 7.5 minute podcast about this scumball. So, and in the future, I'm going to try and get some law enforcement to come on. We'll talk about various criminals that's familiar to everybody. And I could never understand how these idiots in Hollywood would make a movie and they'd glamorize somebody that's a scum of the earth. I mean, Billy the Kid, they made movies about him being a good guy. This guy was just a lowlife, and it's disgusting that I mean, and I've even seen a couple of them. I'm disgusted myself for even watching that shit. But anyhow, I think you'll find that quite interesting. And again, if you just give yourself some time to let you know where you came from, where you're going. I mean, everything goes back to presidential administrations, good or bad, back to Washington, on to the 47th president of the United States. So give yourself 20 to 30 minutes a week to listen, and please share this. I have a lot of people listen to podcasts, and for some reason, very few share it. The algorithm that Facebook has, they're not going to reach all my friends. They just don't do it because they want me to pay to advertise each episode, and each episode goes out, and all it does is increase your Facebook presence. I think I tried it once, and I got 670 new followers, but I didn't have one link to a podcast. So, you know, this is fine, but I'm not looking for Facebook followers. I'm looking for people to just take part in history. And I think you're going to really enjoy, besides doing the Dumbass Criminal podcast, and once in a while I'm going to put in, you know, the American legends who changed our culture or added to our culture. And I'm probably going to go back to Medal of Honor winners and also the sports legend. Just try and keep it interesting. But in the meantime, thanks for listening to my little speech and asking for you to listen to podcasts and share them. But this is to me. I've always been into history, and you're going to be surprised how. I'm almost embarrassed to do a podcast with some of these people that I've had on my podcast. They're absolutely brilliant. They've done a great job, and you'll see if you listen. Thanks for listening to me, and I will talk to you later.